Ladies and gentlemen, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We know that coming up this fall, we are going to see the release of MW 2022 or Modern Warfare 2, whatever they end up calling it. We know a sequel to MW 2019 is coming, and with that, we should be seeing another update to Warzone. Obviously, Warzone dropped, we had the Modern Warfare era, then we also saw the Cold War integration, and most recently, the Vanguard integration. So coming up with MW2, we should see that integration as well, but things get a little bit tricky because of the timeline, because of what we know about the future of Warzone. And today, I wanted to break down basically what we currently know about the most confusing integration update yet with Warzone and Modern Warfare 2. As we cover everything, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. It really does help grow the channel. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. Also, right now, my G Fuel discount code WhosImmortal is boosted to get you 30% off your entire order as opposed to the normal 10%. So if you want to grab anything at all from the G Fuel site, now is literally the perfect time to do so you can take advantage of that increased discount. Now, like I said, the whole Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone integration is very tricky because one, we really haven't heard any official information on it. Every single time that we've been able to talk to the developers previously, all they've talked about is that Warzone 2 exists and it's being worked on, and we have a sequel to MW 2019 coming this fall. Keep in mind, they did not give a release date for Warzone 2. They also did not say anything at all about the integration. So what we know now is currently based on leaks and rumors and just general timeline assumptions where we can sort of piece together and connect the dots of all the stuff that we have floating about right now. So obviously, as we know, MW2 is releasing later on this year, or the sequel to MW 2019, whatever they end up calling it. That is 100% confirmed. We know that's coming this fall, likely at some point in late October or early November. That's just like sort of the usual COD release time based on the past couple of years. No surprises there. And obviously, because this is a new COD, it's going to come standard with a new campaign, a new multiplayer experience, and according to some of the leaks and rumors that we've talked about previously, a new third mode known as DMZ. We don't know if that's going to be the final name for it, but this is essentially going to be a Tarkov-esque mode where you have to go into a play space and you want to exfil. That's your goal. You want to collect certain items, certain intel, and then you exfil. PvP, PvE, it does seem like it could be really cool, you know, sort of that COD twist on Tarkov, which already is very, very successful. Personally, I'm super excited to jump in and try this out if it ends up coming to fruition. But there is some very curious things to note about the DMZ mode because of one specific tweet from the Ghost of Hope, who is a relatively credible data miner and leaker in the community. He talks about DMZ and its correlation to the launch of Warzone 2, and we'll get to that a bit later on into the video, but we know for sure it's going to have a campaign, it's going to have multiplayer. We should see this DMZ mode as that third standard mode for MW2. The question is, what about the Warzone integration? And likely that's not going to happen at the same time as MW2's launch, and rightfully so. It should not happen around the same time because one, that splits the player base. It kind of brings the hype away from obviously MW2 launching, but also we have history to look at. Warzone didn't drop alongside MW 2019. The Cold War integration and the Vanguard integrations did not happen right alongside launch. They were a little bit delayed so that players had time to jump in and experience the new multiplayer and the new game stress-free. You don't have to worry, oh, I gotta jump in and grind out the new Warzone stuff at the same time. You can just focus on the new game for a little bit, which I think is the ideal way to go about things. That said, at what point would this integration happen? And this today is the big question that I want to sort of break down because it's where things get very, very tricky, right? This past year, Raven learned the hard way that doing the integration just before the holidays, about a month after launch, is not a good idea. We saw it in Cold War when the integration took place then, that the game was broken. The DMR, it was running rampant and nobody could stop it because the devs weren't in office, they were on holiday. This year with Vanguard, they launched the new integration. The game was extremely broken, unplayable on console for almost a month because for the first 2 weeks of the integration, the devs were all on holiday. They were out of office, they were on break. So launching it before the holidays, before the end of the year, not a good idea. That then brings you to early 2023 at that point when you would in theory have that Warzone integration. However, we also know that in 2023 and early 2023, according to the various reports and rumors out there already, we're going to see the next iteration of Warzone, supposedly dubbed Warzone 2. Now hear me out. Looking at the grand scheme of things here, having Warzone 2 release in early 2023, probably in the spring, but also having an integration of MW2 in very early 2023 just doesn't make too much sense. We already know Warzone as it stands right now is bloated, it is busted, it is broken. That's a lot of B's. Adding in another game to it with MW2 just doesn't really make all that much sense. It would make a whole lot more sense if they just reserved the Warzone quote-unquote integration for Warzone 2. And I say integration in that way because it wouldn't really be a full-on integration like what we had with Vanguard and Cold War. It would instead be the reset of Warzone with Warzone 2, where the game would probably just launch with exclusively Modern Warfare 2 content. All the Modern Warfare 2 guns, the UMP, the ACR, the intervention, I would assume are probably going to come back because of the name. Any other new content that that game brings, the operators, the equipment, the perks, all that stuff. Adding in that stuff into, or even just the weapons, I should say, into Warzone 1 and creating even more chaos in a game that clearly cannot handle more big updates just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And now getting to that Ghost tweet that I talked about earlier, over on Twitter, the Ghost of Hope was saying that DMZ, according to, what he's heard, he's pretty sure that's going to fill the gap between the Modern Warfare 2 release in the fall and Warzone 2 in spring of 2023. So while we would usually have the Warzone integration about that month and a half after the release of the premium game, it does not look like that's going to be happening this year. And instead, the full-on integration is going to be Warzone 2. Ghost did also say he assumes we're probably going to see some content for Warzone 1, and if I had to guess, it might be a couple of weapons here and there. Maybe some of those iconic weapons like the UMP, like the ACR, the intervention, the beast that was the F2000. Maybe we see a couple of those things added in, maybe a few operators from the game, but probably not anything too crazy. Maybe some sort of update to Rebirth that's like MW2 themed, but we should not be expecting a full-on integration for Warzone 1, according to the various leaks and rumors that we have now. Keep in mind, this is not 100% official. This is not 100% confirmed. It is just theories and sort of speculation and rumors at this point, but it does have some solid foundation and some solid grounding here because it just simply would not make sense to integrate another COD into Warzone 1 when we clearly see that it already is so broken, at least from a content being added in standpoint, and then also have a new Warzone game drop that has that same content likely for that full next main year, potentially 2 years, with no real COD dropping in 2023, obviously with COD 2024 being the next full premium title. It does make things very confusing, very interesting, because it's not a situation that we've ever seen with Warzone before, but as of right now, that's sort of the situation as we know it. Obviously, as we get closer to the full reveal of MW2, we should probably gain some more information on this. As we get closer to the launch of MW2, we'll definitely have more information to break down about this situation. And as anything surfaces in the coming months, we're going to be covering it right here on the channel alongside everything else going on in COD. So make sure you're subscribed with those notifications turned on. That way you can always guarantee you're up to date with everything. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. Would be seriously appreciated. And as always, if you want to check out any of my partners, be sure to use code IMMORTAL for a discount on all Scuff, G Fuel, Gamer Advantage, and Control Freak products. And the links for all those can be found down in the description below. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.